peace, rest in peace. However you feel about the guy, when it comes to hip-hop, he worked on a lot of classics, You guys know we love the Murder Inc., Ashanti and Ja Rules. Not only those, though, a lot of Jay-Z early tracks, a lot of DMX early tracks. He's the one that believed in X. We seen Irv Gotti say a lot of times, when no one believed in X, I put my neck on the line and I stood out there and everybody told me that he wasn't gonna sell, and look what happened.
I was like, we gotta sign DMX, and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said, she knew what I wanted to sign DMX. She said, if DMX don't sell, your ass is fired. Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, you think he's better than me? And I'd be like, he's nice just like you. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less of like you and more of like him. Yeah, but don't want to live that. He's depressing, Gotti. And I said, I don't give a fuck. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman. And then something strange happened when I made Get At Me Dog. If you remember at the beginning of the video, it's the heartbeats, doom doom, DMX, doom doom, live at the tunnel. Y'all don't even remember the tunnel. Funk Master Voice, doom doom, and then I put that sound bite. Let's take it back to the streets, mother. Doom doom. The video's flashing, f***ing up your eyes, it caused change. And now, there was no more shiny suits. We back to the hood, and X is the leader of this revolution. I used to put on the wall a triangle with 5. And they was like, they used to clown me. And they used to be like, who's gonna buy his records, Gotti? Chihuahuas, he's barking. No one wants to hear that bullshit. And I'd be like, yeah. It's 05. It was no more writing on the walls. It was, y'all fucking get behind me. I used to tell Leo in the midst of the whole staff, and I would tell him, yo, shut the fuck up, yo. I said, you work better when you shut up and get behind me. Now this is what we doing. And he would shut up.
Irv Gotti brought me that beat. I think we were almost finished with the album. He's like, yo, I got paying for you.
So when we made What's My Name, so he was doing the vocals, and I was like, everyone else was going nuts for the record. He's just looking at me. He's like, what's up, Gotti? And I said, I don't like the energy. He said, what? And he got mad at me. Yo, turn the mic, and went back in there. And listen, you think it's a game? You think it's a game? Talking to me. He's jumping. You think But here, when he did that, I'm looking at Darren, who's my primate, and Darren's like, Gotti, you son of a you got him.
And so they put on, I was like, oh, come on, damn. Yeah, I wrote that kind of fast too. Irv Gotti brought me that beat.
DMX, one of my favorite all-time rappers. But here's Dame Dash, Chris Gotti. And Chris Gotti shares more information about what happened and how Irv Gotti really lost his life. I hate to see it, bro. We was just on Drink Champs. He was just on Drink Champs talking not too long ago with Noriega about the whole diabetes and everything. And to see him go out just shortly after breaks my heart, man. Breaks my heart. When it comes to the music game, I love 50, you know. That got nothing to do with me. The 50 and Murder Inc., that got nothing to do with me. When it comes to music, I love what Murder Inc. did. Even Charlie Baltimore. Like, I loved even the other artists under the label. And to see how Irv ended, not so old, bro, not so old. Younger than my parents. To see him pass away the way he did breaks my heart. Rest in peace. Don't forget, we're gonna do a giveaway on this channel at 10,000 subscribers. At 9,000, we'll give a bit more information on my Instagram story, so follow me on IG. And yeah, let's see what Chris Gotti had to say, man. This shit must hurt, losing a brother too. Rest in peace.
Chris, when was your brother diagnosed with diabetes?
Wow, so he's 54. I believe he was diagnosed when he was in his 40s. But Irv doesn't go to the doctor, so that's why he's so late being diagnosed, right? And then when he finally did go get a real physical and a checkup, he's like, you're diabetic. And he didn't believe it. You know, my dad...
you were type 1, Chris?
Irv was type 1. Irv was type 1. And then it started with type 2, developed into type 1. So my dad was diabetic, passed at 86. And when we talk about this topic, why it's so dear and sensitive for me, is I watched him suffer in the last 3 years of his life. So it's about quality of life. When Dame is talking about being able to be with his kids, it's about quality of life and the way you actually can stay here and keep doing that. We all have to go at one point in time. We just really want to go on our terms. That's how I look at it. And Irv, sadly enough, he did go on his terms. He just didn't believe it, and he was like, I'm going to go the way basically I wanted. He ate a bunch of Chinese food while playing poker and had a massive hemorrhagic stroke, which is bleeding on the brain. And then we talk diabetes. And I know Dame is saying diabetes. Diabetes is not what kills you. It's always something else. It's what diabetes does to the body that actually takes your life. Like it broke down his body where it was blockage and going to his brain. It created the strokes, but it stems from the diabetic issues that comes from diabetes. You know, it may have liver failure, kidney failure, and these are the things that actually consume or take your life. But I don't know anyone that's, and I know we do have a doctor.
The calcium, you know, yeah.
and you have to watch those strokes because it can clog up your artery.
Yes.
Got to be taking pills. So I take those pills and I get those examinations. It's just when you I guess my approach on diabetes, I would say, might be lucky because I was diagnosed when I was 15, and for 2 months I lost a lot of weight. I thought I had AIDS, so I thought it was something that I wouldn't be able to beat. What I told God was, if you give me another chance, I'm gonna live life to the fullest. So when I finally went to the doctor and they told me I had diabetes, I actually was happy. Like, oh, it's just diabetes. I could take a needle and feel better. So for me, I thought I had so much strength and faith in God that He reversed whatever was, and said, I'll just give you diabetes. I'll take diabetes over the other thing.
Yo, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Chris just shared it, and you can see like the hurt in his eyes. He ate a bunch of Chinese food and played poker. The man lived like a rock star. That's one thing we can say about Irv, though. On the way out, to go out that way, I wouldn't want to go out that way. I don't even like Chinese food, nor do I even know how to play poker. But it sounds like something that Irv loved to do, and he said he was going to live the rest of his life his way. Do I think it was the right decision? No, but my answer doesn't really matter in a situation like this. As long as Irv was happy with, I guess, the final moments and how he lived his life. But guys, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. I saw another thing that broke my heart. We saw LeVar Ball. They took one of his foot. They didn't really share with us what it was, but it was a medical condition. And a lot of times when people lose a limb, usually a leg or a foot, rather say, it ties back to diabetes. Now, am I saying LeVar Ball has diabetes? No, they never shared with us what it was.
Dude grew the foot back. I did. Who else you know has 3 sons in the NBA, a verified Premier account, and the ability to grow the feet back? Nobody. I might swerve in that corner. Whoa, whoa. Guess who?
We gotta watch the way we eat. We gotta exercise more. Walk around your street. Walk around your street. Buy yourself an Apple Watch or just time it. Leave at 10 o'clock or let's just say a flat hour and walk for 15, 20 minutes nonstop. I know a lot of people love to say, I walk all day at work. I can't. But you're not accelerating your heartbeat to raise that high at work unless you're doing a job. Let me say this, that you're exercising extremely heavy or lifting a whole bunch of things, and that's different, obviously. But to the average person that's just walking around, you're not walking miles of a distance at a certain time. How big's your job? The thing is, the heart, you should walk at least a mile minimum. I do 1 to 6 miles a day. On a rainy day, maybe I'll sneak just 1 in there. But I think you should always push your heart rate at least 1 mile to 2 every single day. It doesn't matter on the weather it is outside. Find a way to do it. We're getting older. Not only are we getting older, they feed us poison. A lot of us eat fast food not because we want to. Either it could be financial, it could be time, or you're not in the mood to cook today. I feel it. But they're feeding us poison, a lot of these things, and the oils they're putting in our foods, the dyes they're putting in our food. How long have I been talking about red dye? I've been telling people like, yo, chill, don't eat no red dyes. Then we see, I don't know, where red dye gets banned. Everybody's like, oh, that's crazy. I banned it in my house years ago. And how much of our foods actually had it is crazy. And we see these same brands being sold overseas in like Europe. None of the chemicals we have here. So it's possible to be done. Why are we being treated the worst in America when it comes to our food options? Subscribe to the channel, guys. This breaks my heart. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti. I pray for his kids and everybody recovers well. Love to see Chris Gotti still holding his head up and he understands that it was a health condition. And Dame Dash, I never knew Dame Dash had diabetes. That must be mad scary, waking up, losing a whole bunch of weight, being thirsty, and he said 15, so I'm assuming this is around the 80s. Crazy time for the AIDS pandemic and all that. So I could see him being super nervous of what's going on.